This story's called The Fairy Queen's Ruby Pendant. Alyssa was Queen Elvira's younger sister. She was a beautiful, impulsive, kind-hearted fairy, much loved by the fairies and pixies of all the fairyland. The Queen would often say, "Alyssa, you must quieten down. You are a fairy princess, so behave with dignity." Alyssa would try to be good for a while, but before she knew it, she would be running up the palace staircase again, while the fairy children chased after her with squeals of laughter. Because of her high spirits, Alyssa was often in trouble, and one day something really dreadful happened. The Queen was standing before her mirror admiring her ruby pendant. The ruby was a rare gem with a star glowing in its heart, given to her by the king to wear to the fairy ball. Suddenly, Alyssa burst into the room. She bumped into the Queen and knocked the pendant to the floor, where it broke into pieces. "Alyssa," cried the Queen, "how could you be so clumsy? The ruby is ruined." The Queen was very upset. Alyssa crept around like a mouse and wept. She knew she would not be allowed to go to the ball. The day of the ball dawned, and the fairy children came running to find their favourite playmate. "Come to the seashore with us, Alyssa," they cried. "The tide is very low today, and we can see jewels in the rock pools just waiting for us to pick them up." Alyssa still felt sad, but she was too kind-hearted to refuse the children, so together they set off for the seashore. In spite of her sadness, she joined in the search, and before long she spotted a magnificent gem. "Oh, look!" she cried. It was a ruby with a double star in its heart, the rarest of all gems to be found in fairyland. Alyssa hurried back to the palace and asked to see the king. "Your Majesty," said Alyssa respectfully, "I have found this beautiful gem and hope you will take it to give to my sister in place of the pendant I broke." The king gasped at the beauty of the stone. "This is the finest jewel I've ever seen," he said. "This certainly makes amends for your clumsiness." Soon a new glittering double-starred pendant was presented to the Queen. The king explained where the beautiful jewel came from. "Oh, Alyssa," cried the Queen, "it is the most beautiful ruby. All is forgiven and forgotten, and of course you must come to the ball tonight." "Hooray!" shouted Alyssa. She rushed out of the room, pursued by the fairy children, and the sound of her feet flying up this palace stairway could plainly be heard. The king and queen looked at each other and smiled. Alyssa hadn't changed, but perhaps they didn't really want her to. The